Hey everyone, so today I want to review Sunshine on Leith, and I was very excited to see this. Of course I'm Scottish, so please forgive me if I am a little bit biased, but it's hard to not love this, but there are very many valid reasons why it is a fantastic film. Towards the end I will also bring in Gordon. Gordon is from Edinburgh, so his perspective will be a little bit different to mine because obviously it was filmed and set heavily in Edinburgh. Obviously I'm from Aberdeen, so it's slightly different, but it's very much an Edinburgh film. So I'll bring in Gordon towards the end and let you know what he thinks. But for just now, here's my thoughts. The plot is quite dimensional. At first I just thought it was about Davy and Ali returning from the Force and kind of finding their feet back with love lives and things. But there's more to it. There are 3 different relationships going on here, and there are different stages of their relationships, and it's kind of all about the sacrifices we have to make in love and the problems that arise, how to overcome them at different points in relationships. And it's quite heavy at times, very emotional. But it's also quite funny. It is a very comedic film, which you wouldn't expect from that, but there are some very upsetting moments where it's just raw emotion, and what's happening on screen cannot be laughed at in any way, and it's heartbreaking in many occasions. But then what I find really good with this is the transitions. You can be in tears 1 minute over something that's so upsetting, and the next minute you can just be splitting your sides laughing. Now, I don't know if that's the same for an English audience, because a lot of the jokes are either heavily Scottish or they're anti-English in a kind of a mocking way. It kind of, on several occasions, almost mocks. The Scots, we mock ourselves about how much we are supposed to hate the English when we really don't. Some may disagree. But yeah, so it's emotional in parts, but it's very funny, and the plot itself there's quite a lot going on there. The cast is brilliant. I have to admit, I didn't look on IMDb beforehand. I sat through the entire thing going, she looks awfully like Jane Horrocks. Got to the end credits, turns out it was Jane Horrocks. Oops, I felt like a bit of an idiot. Jason Fleming is hilarious. His character is quite a minor character, but what he brings to it is just flawless. He has a specific dance sequence in this, which will just have you almost on the floor laughing, which when you're in the cinema is not the most practical of things. And Peter Mullan as Rab is probably one of my favourite characters. Rab is very easily one of the most comic characters, but also one that evokes the most emotions. So they all have their values, but I think, whereas I thought Davy and Ali would be kind of the main characters, protagonists in this, I was drawn to other parties. The main thing with this is the fact that it is based on the Proclaimers' music. I did wonder, how are they going to build an entire film based on the songs of the Proclaimers? But they did it. They even managed to get in Letter from America in there, and I was worried they wouldn't be able to do that or do it effectively. But they did. Look out for 2 special guests at some point in the beginning. I was very happy to see them in it, but I'm not going to say who, but it's probably pretty obvious. The dances, the vocals are fantastic. There are a couple of weak voices, but that, to me, that just gives it a more realistic feel. Some of them are not kind of, West End singers. They're not perfect, but that makes it more real, and there is a great sense of reality about this. It doesn't feel artificial, but there are some very strong singers in this. But for me, it's the dances that make it brilliant. The very end sequence with 500 Miles, you have to watch the entire film just for that. It is that brilliant. It started off a bit weird, kind of like the battle at the beginning, but then it really got in full swing, and just the last couple of minutes of the film, absolutely sensational. From my perspective, in terms of seeing Edinburgh and different parts of Scotland, bits of Glasgow, is really lovely. It's nostalgic to me, and I've only been to Edinburgh a couple of times, 5 or 6 times. But I love it, and I think they've shown quite a lot of beautiful scenes, and I do think it will attract tourism. But on this note, I will go and bring in Gordon and let you know what an Edinburgh person thinks of it.
I think this film promoted Edinburgh in a good way, because you had all the long shots and stuff, you had the views, and you also had the on-location filming. So if somebody from, say, America wanted to come over after watching that film, I'd say they'd be able to find stuff easily, apart from the bits that were filmed in Glasgow. The geography is a bit mixed up, but apart from that, it's fine. I did enjoy the film.
I could not be more proud to be Scottish, and Sunshine on Leith really heightens this. It is a Scottish film. It is something that we can be proud of. It is a great praise for the Proclaimers. It does their music fantastic. It's a great way to introduce new people to the Proclaimers if they haven't heard of them before. Start to finish, I was hooked. I absolutely love it. I don't know if non-Scots will perceive it in the same way, because obviously it does have that side of patriotism and you know, nationalism and pride. Whereas I'm not sure if that'll come across for example, the English, because there are actually anti-English jibes in there. It's directed by Dexter, Fletcher and written by Stephen Greenhorn, and it just, everything about it is fantastic. The acting, the cast, the music, the dancing, the development of the story, the imagery, the scenery, the setting. I love it. I could not love it anymore. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.